Welcome to AK Recap. Today I'm going to explain the movie called Drunken Master 2, released in the year 1994. The movie starts with a man named Wang Fei-hung and his family. They servant are standing in line at customs. Wang Fei-hung doesn't understand why do they have to pay for things they've already bought. But his father don't answer for Thig. Meanwhile, the English consul arrives. The father finds a way to respond to Fei-hung. If you don't want to pay the fee, you must become a consul. Fei-hung shoves a household servant at one of the officials. This approach is used to present your idea to an official. They wouldn't have to pay for it. They board the train after clearing customs. They started out on their trip together. During one of the stops, he and the servant realized they had forgotten something. Before boarding the train, they planted ginseng on the official. However, because the man is traveling in a first-class carriage, they are not allowed. Then they devise a clever idea. They're getting chickens and geese from the car next to them. They launch an assault, making their way to the correct car. When Fei-hung goes to pick up his stuff, he sees a stranger. The man also required anything from these items. Fei-hung begins pursuing him and try to stop. However, the man did not appear to hear him. He is attacked by the stranger. During battle, he continually calls to Fei-hung as a traitor. This is due to the stranger being someone's master. He mistakes the young man for someone else. Despite another scuffle, the stranger escapes. Fei-hung, on the other hand, tracks him down. He could have come at him from behind. But this is plainly not in his nature. Fei-hung puts away the weapon. The fist battle starts. They fight on equal footing. And then, Fei-hung uses his technique drunk fist. This, however, does not help him in battle. The stranger acknowledges Fei-hung's ability. But his train has already left. Fei-hung manages to outrun the train. An unknown man unwraps a stolen box. Ginseng, it turns out. So, what's inside Fei-hung's box? Fei-hung falls asleep after returning to his seat. A luggage check commences on the train due to the theft that has occurred. The line has reached Fei-hung. Like everyone else, he shows the contents of his boxes. Fei-hung becomes terrified after quickly opening the box containing the ginseng. There is certainly not what he was hoping for. And now the cop is insisting on opening the box. A man sitting close steps in to help. He calmly requests the officer to leave and shows his ID. The officer apologizes and departs. This individual turns out to be from counterintelligence. The consul is angry. He has gathered all of his subordinates and reminded them of the significance of the lost item. The emperor's jade seal is contained within Fei-hung's casket, the most valuable object in Chinese history. If they had this seal, the Museum of London would be the best in the world. As a result, they must promptly return it to the consul. On the other hand of Wang's school and hospital, Fei-hung's stepmother is having a good time playing mahjong during their leave. She has no idea that they are about to knock on the door. She and her friends successfully conceal all evidence while pretending to be ill. A few moments later, Mr. Chang comes to Fei-hung's father for the needed ginseng. Fei-hung is afraid. What can I do now? The stepmother tries to assist him by bringing him a large radish. However, the father discovers a problem. Then Fei-hung digs up a houseplant root and offers it to a stranger. On the other hand, we see the consul's people visit the foundry workers. He had asked them to make them work overtime the day before. But they don't get money for their overtime. People are fighting. They will not work for free. A fight starts. The consul's men thrash the workers. They will be required to work extra hours. Near the consul's embassy, there is a Wang school. Training of people disrupts the English consul's sleep. Wang refuses to sell his property. The consul directs his men to detain him. At the market, a man named Song is talking with a fun girl. Song believes she requires a husband who can protect her. Who would own kung fu? Fun, on the other hand, favors the drunk fist method. Song dislikes this look. Fei-hung emerges on the market at this time, which Fun plainly enjoys. She requests that she perform a few ways to him. Song notices this. His eyes are filled with jealousy. He mocks the drunk fist manner in front of Fun. Fei-hung is definitely above these statements and does not want to get into a fight. Song, on the other hand, plainly insists on his own. He wishes to fight Fei-hung. But Fei-hung still refuses, despite the fact that there are a lot of people at the market. Someone can be harmed. Song then announces the duel to the entire market. Fei-hung must take up the challenge. The young man comes close to winning, but he doesn't need it. And the stepmother has called. The fight is over. He passes the consul's people on his way home. They'll notice him. Fei-hung is being watched. He and his stepmother are returning home from a business conference. Suddenly, the consul's servant appears and snatches a handbag from the stepmother's companion. Fei-hung quickly apprehends the robber and seizes the bag. But soon the consul's gang reappears. They provoke Fei-hung and stepmother to fight by hurling insults and fists. It's time for a drunken fist. Fei-hung fights the assailants with exceptional skill. The stepmother hurls bottles at him one after the other. Fei Hung becomes drunken and battles the resistance. But then the father appears. He is furious with his son. He was not allowed to employ a drunken fist. Dr. Wong brings them home. The complete truth of the ginseng root is revealed. A man almost died after drinking a decoction of this root. The father kicks his son out of the house and disinherits him. Fei Hung enters the cafe and requests more wine. He is no longer able to stand on his own. This is where the consul's men step in. Song walks by, hoping to rescue Fei Hung. He is, however, pummeled by the entire gang. The consul's men are apprehending Fei Hung. They humiliate him by hanging him in public. When the father notices this, he brings his son home. Fei Hung and his honor are both devastated in the morning. His eyes are filled with tears. He apologizes to his father and promises not to drink again. His father pardons him. A railway thief discovers Fei Hung home. Hung he is attacked by his stepmother. However, the father steps in. He soothes everyone and invites the stranger to introduce himself. The stranger's name is Fu Manchu. He is a highly distinguished military officer. Fu claims he is defending the seal from the British. Otherwise, his children will be forced to study Chinese history in England. This is crazy. Suddenly, the cafe where they are conversing is silent. It's a bait. A large swarm of armed people rushes into the cafe moments afterwards. Fu and Fei Hung fight together. People swarm in unending numbers. One even stabs Fu in the back with an axe. They are trying to flee. The consul's soldiers kill Fu Manchu and steal the jade seal. Fei Hung swears vengeance. Fei Hung and son infiltrate the consul's embassy disguised as troops. But it turns out to be a trap. They've been apprehended and photographed. Now the consul is free to pass judge on them as he sees fit. Because of this, Fei Hung's father would be able to sell them the land at a modest price. The Wong lands a day later. Having already been sold to the consul at a low cost, Father Fei Zhou is not worried. It will serve as a lesson to them. The most important thing is that his son is alive. The consul gives the order to fire everyone in the factory. People are in terrible need. However, Fei Hung assured his father that he would not join in any further business. I suppose I'll have to. People from the factory decide to investigate what is going on there. The British, it turns out, are stealing their historical antiques. When the workers attempt to flee, they are apprehended by the consul's soldiers. A battle breaks out. One escapes. He should contact Fei Hung. His father is about to leave on a business trip. Fei Hung agrees. It has the approval of the stepmother. The factory is in the grip of a riot. The British are always aiming to shoot demonstrators. The rioters, on the other hand, destroy all the weapons. Even their adversaries are treated with respect and care. Many people will be jealous. Fei Hung does not intervene. He swore to his father. However, duty calls. A man with a chain guards the territory inside the plant, together with a pair. He can finish off anyone with a barrage of punches, but not with Fei Hung. He must make a drunken fist. The attacker is really dangerous. However, Fei Hung survives. One of the rioters comes dangerously close to killing Fei Hung's attacker. However, Fei Hung saves his opponent. Fei Hung slips in. The consul's people are waiting for him. According to tradition, Fei Hung is attempting to awake their conscience, to remind them that they are born from the same people. So why are they selling these items to the British? But his efforts are useless. These people are obviously only concerned with money. They are attempting to assault Fei Hung. However, this time Fei Hung saves his enemies, who have caught fire. The consul's soldiers' commander is a powerful threat. This fight is too difficult for Fei Hung. Drunk Fist is useless since he no longer drinks. And, as usual, the consul's crew is acting dishonestly. They even throw Fei Hung into the hot fire. The entire body of Fei Hung is covered in burns and wounds. Then wine comes to the rescue. The struggle continues. The drunken fist technique is now popular. Genuinely revealed. All attackers have been defeated. And Fei Hung became a little tipsy. The movie ends here. Thanks for watching my video. Please, like and subscribe.